Among the glitter of Los Angeles that never sleeps, one question resonates among global K-pop fans: what really happened between BLACKPINK's Lisa and BTS's Jungkook, and why did the man Lisa had been associated with seem to disappear off the radar? When these two global icons are seen in the same city in such close proximity and in some cases allegedly intersecting, speculation is raging, not only about their closeness, but also about the absence of the figure who has been touted as a special person in Lisa's life, Frederick. The news first broke when a blurry photo showed Lisa leaving a restaurant in West Hollywood. Soon, BTS's Jungkook was spotted in a location that was not much different, just a few hours later. The two were not seen together in person, but their presence in such a close radius was enough to trigger a storm of speculation. And in the midst of all that, the one name that usually comes to mind when talking about Lisa, Frederick, disappeared without a trace. Frederick, the young CEO of the luxury watch brand Tag Heuer and part of the LVMH dynasty, has long been in the center of fans' attention due to his association with Lisa. The two have been seen together in various major cities around the world, from Paris to Tokyo. In fact, a number of well-known fan sites have consistently followed their lead, noting travel patterns that are considered too synchronous to be considered coincidental. So when Lisa and Jungkook suddenly appear in LA and Frederick disappears from all the spotlight, the virtual world rumbles on. In a K-pop fan culture full of keen observation and speculative deduction, a small change in a public figure's habitual patterns can be a big indication. The absence of Frederick in this seemingly important moment only adds weight to the developing theory. Is it true that Lisa and Frederick are still close, or are there major changes taking place behind the scenes? More interestingly, Lisa is known to come to LA in order to continue promotions for her global projects, including her solo activities and major brand collaborations in America. Jungkook, who is also active as a soloist, is said to be in the same city for photo shoots and personal activities. However, a number of fan posts mentioned that the two were seen using similar routes, even staying in adjacent areas. Of course, this has not yet been officially confirmed, but fans of the detective culture have analyzed a variety of visual and digital evidence, from the timestamp of the photo, the color of the car windows, the light pattern on the hotel glass, to the angle of the shadow, to support the narrative. But back to the big question: where is Frederick? Some fans suspect that Frederick's absence is a sign that their relationship has quietly ended. Moreover, for almost a month the Frenchman has not been seen with Lisa. There is not even the slightest digital interaction, be it likes, story viewing, or engagement on social media. In the world of celebrities, the absence of these kinds of small signals is often considered a big clue. Moreover, usually in important periods such as tours or major promotions, Lisa often receives subtle support from Frederick, whether in the form of attendance at events, or cryptic posts indicating alignment. Now, that's all gone. There are also more extreme theories, that Jungkook's presence in LA is not a coincidence, and that Lisa is now closer to him than any of the other men she has been linked to. This theory is reinforced by the emergence of several videos that show Lisa smiling into the fans' cameras when Jungkook's name is mentioned in the crowd. In fact, in one viral fan cam, Lisa appears to glance at the phone screen of a fan watching Jungkook's clip, and her brief reaction sparks 10 million views in just a matter of hours. More shockingly, news emerged that Lisa and Jungkook had attended the same closed-door event in Beverly Hills. A catering staff member anonymously mentioned that the two Korean superstars attended a private dinner party attended by only 20 exclusive invitees. No public documentation, no story, no concrete evidence. But that's exactly what makes this news even stronger, because secret events are often real places where personal connections are built away from the camera spotlight. Where is Frederick at this moment? Some French fans tried to track him down, but found that even Frederick's business accounts were quieter than usual. One of Frederick's usual private jet scheduling accounts also showed no activity to the United States in the past week. In fact, the community of fans of luxury watches on Reddit is speculating: is Frederick keeping his distance for professional reasons, or is something really going on in his relationship with Lisa? Equally interesting, a new narrative has emerged that tries to deflect attention. Some fan sites say that Frederick's absence is a form of protection for Lisa, namely an attempt to get away from speculation in order to let Lisa's career develop without the burden of amorous scandals. But in an era of openness like now, this narrative is actually considered too idealistic and difficult to accept without clarity. It has also been suggested that Frederick may be facing pressure from his family or LVMH to move away from the personal spotlight. A well-known former fashion journalist even wrote that a romantic relationship with a Korean idol could be considered too risky for the stability of the image of a European company, especially if it is not officially conveyed. If true, then Frederick's absence may not be due to personal desire, but to greater demands. But back again, the public is not a collection of corporate analysts. For fans, absence means questions. And unanswered questions cause unrest, especially when it involves figures as popular as Lisa and Jungkook. They are not just artists, but cultural icons that shape generations. Their every step, even every absence of a person in their circle, is the subject of mass debate and interpretation. Meanwhile, Lisa and Jungkook's popularity is soaring. Their unofficial collaboration in the form of existence in the same city was enough to bring to life the Jungkook fandom, which so far lives only in the world of imagination. Fan art sprang up, fanfiction increased dramatically, and even big brands began to monitor the possibility of cooperation that could be born from this viral momentum. In a world where digital marketing relies heavily on narrative, pseudo-togetherness like this can be golden. Finally, perhaps the question is not simply where is Frederick, but is its existence still relevant in the narrative that is now being led by the public? It could be that Lisa and Jungkook have nothing but a professional friendship that just happens to overlap in LA. It could also be that Frederick just took time off from the spotlight. But when two of the brightest stars are in one city at one time, and another disappears from the sky, no one can blame the public for starting to wonder. Whatever the truth, one thing is clear: the story between Lisa, Jungkook, and Frederick has become an unscripted drama watched by millions of people around the world. And like the best Netflix series, this mystery shows no signs of being solved anytime soon. Quite the contrary, it is just beginning. But amid the overwhelming wave of interest in the emergence of BLACKPINK's Lisa and BTS's Jungkook in Los Angeles, we as discerning viewers need to pause, take a distance, and ask, does everything we see and hear really reflect reality? Or is it just a narrative designed to trigger emotional reactions, attract clicks, and prolong the viral cycle for a specific purpose? We live in an era where information moves so fast, sometimes even faster than our ability to verify it. 15-second TikTok views, short uploads on Twitter, now X, provocative YouTube thumbnails, to pieces of video without context, can all shape public perception instantly. But the question is, are you sure that all of them are true? Or is it just part of a digital scenario that ignites a bottomless furor? The emergence of speculation about the disappearance of Frederick Arnault in the context of Lisa and Jungkook's togetherness in LA is interesting to discuss, but are we not forcing a narrative on a coincidence that does not necessarily have meaning? Is his absence really a sign of something big? Or is this just an interpretation shaped by our collective expectations of the romance stories of idols? More than that, we need to question who benefits from this kind of news. What are the artists? Their agency? Social media? Or are we as consumers of information only being used as a tool to strengthen sensationalism that continues to be produced endlessly? We, in delivering this article, refer to various sources from popular social media, such as TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, and other entertainment portals that raise this topic with different points of view. But we also recognize that these sources do not necessarily stand on the foundation of truth. Therefore, we invite you all not to swallow every piece of information that is spread.